I'm a big fan of AI chat assistants like ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini and Llama and Perplexity, all those large language models. I really like them. I use chat assistants of some kind probably every day now. It's just part of my daily life. I use tools like ChatGPT to help me with tech-related tasks, for example, scripting and programming, very useful for that. So I sometimes use things like ChatGPT to help me with research, show notes. Sometimes I use ChatGPT just to bounce ideas off for brainstorming kind of activities. And as an active options trader, I can also use ChatGPT to help me scan for potential new trades. And this is something I don't think enough traders have realized how useful tools like ChatGPT can be. Because if I'm scanning for new trades, typically you're scanning for a new trade, you go to your trading platform, or maybe you go to various financial websites and you get watch list and you sort by whatever criteria you're looking for as far as share price, implied volatility. If you're into fundamental analysis, maybe you look at a PE ratio or a debt to equity ratio. Maybe you look at revenue, growth percent. Maybe you look at technicals. If you're into charting, maybe you want to know if the stock is at a recent, like a near a 52-week high or a 52-week low. Maybe you want to know if it's near a support level or a resistance level. Maybe you want to know if it's overbought or oversold on indicators like the RSI or the MACD. And with a tool like ChatGPT, you can automate that scanning, where I would have to go spend several minutes to go get all of that information I just talked about. I may have to go to various websites to pick out certain information, go to my trading platform to get the technicals. I can just ask ChatGPT, hey, here's the criteria, here's the ticker, tell me what you think. So let me show you how this works. Let me actually switch over to my web browser here. And of course, I've got ChatGPT open and I've already written out this custom prompt. It's basically everything I just told you on camera that I was potentially going to use as criteria. So I'm going to paste this prompt here into ChatGPT. I'm going to say analyze ticker and then give it a ticker. Let's go ahead and analyze ticker and let's do NVDA. So analyze ticker NVIDIA as a potential candidate for selling put options, because that's my favorite trade, selling puts. So analyze for a potential candidate for selling put options based on the following criteria. And I am not a fundamental analysis kind of person, and I never use technical analysis. But again, I know most of you guys do use fundamental and or technical analysis. So I listed several things for ChatGPT to evaluate. PE ratio, debt to equity ratio, year-over-year revenue growth percentage, near 52-week high or low, recent support resistance levels, where is it at on the RSI, where is it at on the MACD, and then finally, I want a number assigned to this. So assign the stock a rating 1 to 10 based on the strength of your assessment. Consider factors such as risk reward, return on capital, and the current strength of the sector that the stock happens to be in. For example, if it's a sector that's in troubled times, I want to know that before I go sell puts on the thing. So let's go ahead and hit enter. Now we gave ChatGPT a lot to go and evaluate here, and it's going to go to various websites. It has information. It can go pull the PE ratio, debt to equity ratio, RSI, MACD from various sources on the internet. And again, I would have to go to all of these sources myself, and it would take me several minutes to do all this. And, it just took ChatGPT a few seconds to go get all of this information. First, it gives us a current stock chart of NVIDIA. Right now, we're looking at the 1-day chart, but you can see you've got 5-day, 1 month, 6 month, year to date, max. And then if I scroll down, you can see where it evaluated all the criteria. PE ratio, it tells me exactly what it is. Debt to equity, year over year revenue growth, position relative to its 52-week high, low. And you can actually see the sources for all of this. You can see it got the information about the 52-week high low from Investopedia. Year-over-year growth came from 4 different websites. Debt-to-equity ratio came from 3 different websites. You got Yahoo Finance, Y-Chart, Stock Analysis, Macro Trends, Tip Ranks. And of course, if you've got problems with any of these sources, you can tell it, hey, next time you evaluate this, ignore sources from this site. Or you can specifically give it sites that you like as sources. That way it weights that site and its analysis more than maybe some of the others. But you can see RSI right now, it looks like if we've got a neutral ranking. MACD, it's signaling a buy according to tip ranks. And then sector, NVIDIA continues to lead the AI semiconductor space, yada, yada, yada. And then, oh, we got a nice little chart. So just to summarize things, it gives us a little table, again, of all the criteria I told it to evaluate here. And basically, I told it to give us a ranking 1 to 10, as far as, is this a good stock to sell? Put options on, and you can see recommendation rating 8 of 10, and would assume if it gave it an 8 of 10, then ChatGPT thinks very highly of NVIDIA as far as, yes, this is a good stock to go sell some puts on. So as you can see, really neat. I gave it a very specific custom prompt. I wanted about 7 different things evaluated as far as criteria, and we got a lot of detail, right? I mean, this is a really fantastic report here. And what's great is when it was breaking down each of those criteria, it gave me some pros. It also gave me some cons. And here at the end, okay, if I do want to go sell some puts on NVIDIA, let me know if you'd like help modeling the optimal strike levels, expiration dates, or premium to risk metrics. How cool is that? Now, I know a lot of people, for whatever reason, resist AI and these chat assistants, and I don't understand it. This is the way of the future. We are going to live in a totally different world going forward because AI has improved many areas of our lives already. There are so many people in various fields of endeavor where AI now plays a major part of their particular workflow. And I think us as serious active traders, we need to start incorporating more of this AI into our trading because, again, if you can have a computer and AI evaluate potential trades, particular ticker symbols, companies, maybe you're a long-term investor and you want to really deep dive into some fundamental analysis that would take you a long time, but ask ChatGPT about some of these companies you're thinking about buying shares of. I think it makes sense because it can do that work much more efficiently in a much quicker time, and plus it leaves all emotion out of it because when ChatGPT ranks, for example, NVIDIA and selling puts as an 8 out of 10, right, that's me taking myself and my biases and my emotions out of the equation. ChatGPT says it's a go. Maybe I do it, or maybe I don't. I certainly don't recommend just blindly taking every single trade that an AI, like a chat assistant like ChatGPT, I wouldn't take every trade that they say looks like a good trade, but I certainly, anything that you can do to help speed up the process, and especially to make your trading process much more mechanical, I think it's a good idea. Anyway, just some food for thought, guys. Peace.